Hey everyone, this is Josh from before. I'm here with some selections from McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse. I had somebody leave a comment on another video that, hey, maybe you should do like a sort of an overview video of this whole multiverse line. And I thought that was a great idea, especially because I think just based on kind of some comments that I see online about this line, a lot of people I think are still under the impression that like McFarlane still just makes statues, like it's still 1998 as far as they're concerned, that they're not like getting with the times and whatnot. And I wanted to kind of just like, put this out there. Like if you're on the fence on this line, or if you know somebody that is, and they kind of, have some, apprehensions about it, just kind of to show you what exactly they're doing and why it's like exciting to me, what's kind of special about it and whatnot. So I've got some selections, kind of the best of, if you will. And I'm just going to kind of go through them real quick. Most of these guys I have videos on already, but, this kind of represents a lot of what they do, which is, they take a version of a character that was, from a very specific source material. Like this infected Superman was probably like in like 2 panels of one issue of a comic. But of course, it, spoke to that McFarlane style of, creepy monster guy. It's a great sculpt. It's a really cool, unique, kind of fun Superman. One thing I love is what they do with these capes. Like this is an example of what it would be a thinner cape. They do some that are thicker, that have more texture, like fabric texture on them. But it's just got so much, personality. This they've got double elbows and double knees. The pins are a little loud, but these aren't statues, as you can see. The waist moves, the ab moves, and they've got this soft rubber. So everybody calls it a diaper, but the briefs they look a lot better than the way they do the Legends, where you can basically see a huge gap all the way back. You can basically see the inside of their butt if you look at them straight on. Same way a lot of the DC collectibles did and stuff. So that's a huge improvement. One I know one nitpick is the ball joints on the elbows, or sorry, on the ankles and the wrist. But you can see they a lot of times they're able to, tuck them back a little bit and make them not as pronounced and obvious. So that's infected Superman. This was again another very specific source material. This is a Joker from White Knight by Sean Gordon Murphy, and I could have just done this whole video of just chose the White Knight characters, because that I still think those are the best ones that they've made to this day. But obviously I had him in a full crouch. This guy's got a complete rubber torso with his sort of like SWAT team jacket, and really, really great sort of articulation there, without compromising sculpt. Works great, looks great. It's really just fun to play with. It's a little ratchety, but in a way that's kind of satisfying to move him around. Totally love that. Love this figure. And there's 2 Azraels and a White Knight Batman, and they're all great. Love these guys. Red Hood, this is just a great example of just like, this isn't maybe the most like comic accurate or source accurate design of Red Hood, but this just has so much style, so much personality. The chrome dome looks awesome. I mean, he can like do some really cool stuff, like he's grabbing his lapel, like his, the lapel of his jacket and stuff. He's kind of got his hips angled forward a little bit. He's a little sexy, a little dangerous. This is just a badass figure. I don't care who you are. This guy is just awesome and fun as hell. The Death Metal Batman and the Bat Cycle, I did a video of them, but I like pointing out this guy because that's a $20 action figure. This is a $25 vehicle. And so that's a $45 buy-in. I don't know what line or what, anything, $45 gets you something this big and impressive. So if you're just like, maybe you're not a huge, like you don't collect tons of stuff, but you want something for your desk at work or whatever, this just has a ton of presence, and it's just really cool and unique. Obviously, giant bat skull, on that motorcycle with his rib cage and Grim Reaper Batman. I mean, that's just badass. That's just, if nothing for the look, he's got a broken wrist. That was my fault. Like, just sheer visual factor and scale. Like, that's a really, I think, to me, attractive price point for something with a lot of flair. This Last Night on Earth Batman is super fun. Like, look at that accessory with the Joker head and a lantern. He's got this nightstick that also fits on his belt, which is really nice. But the thing I loved, and because that's a fun part of this line, is watching the kind of changes they make or experimenting with different styles. This guy's kind of got a different sort of, with his straight jacket, he's got this different sort of torso, and the way they've done that is this is like all soft in here, so you can see it up under there. I'm pulling it back just so it separates on purpose, but he's got this amazing range, and you could totally see, I could see them doing like a Rorschach, with his jacket buttoned up. He's got a short trench coat, they could do a Rorschach like that, or a lot of other characters, you know what I mean, with this sort of soft, unique solution to this torso. Before I get to Devastator, I'm actually going to bring in a surprise here, because I did not expect this guy to be on the quote-unquote best of the best list, but he's got some features. I'm going to talk about this Injustice Flash, which everybody clowned on because of he looks like he got stung by bees in the face and stuff. But a couple aspects of this, these effects are freaking awesome. This is like a soft material. This wraps up all the way around his arm. You got to put it on, but it's like a Hadouken sort of, because it's Injustice. It's one of his moves in the game, I guess. Really cool. I mean, like, if a Mezco or an import came with this, we'd be talking about how like it's the coolest thing in the world. Nailed this. Another thing they nailed, this is a newer one compared to the ones I've just shown you. And this does this the best. Hang on, here I go. Let me collect my thoughts. So everybody talks about, oh, Todd, you got to put thigh swivels on these. Everybody wants them to add just a cut right there, thigh swivel, which would look terrible. I don't want them to do that. You shouldn't want them to do that, especially because the way they've got these, this leg joint, instead of the barbell like Legends or what have you, they've got this thing where they have a thigh swivel. They have like a considerable thigh swivel. Look at this. You know what I mean? Like the thigh swivel's there. The issue is that in some of these, they don't cut out as much of his butt under here. So they get stuck every time. They don't do like this guy does, which is like this great range. Especially because this character is from a fighting game. He can get in this sort of, like stance, like fighting game stance, where he would look perfectly. You could pose him exactly the way you see him standing in the game. So I'm using this one as a showcase for that, because again, not all of them actually do have that clearance and that great, like, see, he doesn't need a thigh swivel. He does this, like, look, he doesn't need a thigh swivel. So if they can get the tooling right on more of these characters and cut out more of that butt, so that this actually really sings, you're not going to need that thigh swivel. One other thing that's worth mentioning is, and it's a common complaint I see, is the scale, because a lot of people are 6-inch collectors, because 6 inches, a very common scale. So they say, well, these are 7-inch. I'm a toy photographer. The scale doesn't work. Well, this is how cameras work. Moving a little closer, he looks the same size. And I'm not saying that to clown on toy photographers. I love toy photography. I'm just saying, photography is a creative pursuit. Just get creative. And then lastly, not least certainly, is Devastator. This is a $20 action figure. This kicks the pants off of any Legend Build-A-Fig. I mean, this can go toe to toe. I'm not kidding, with like, I'm gonna say it, Storm Collectibles, because it's $20 freaking. It's 1/5 the price of a Storm Collectible, and those Storm Collectibles, they're nice and they're fun and stuff. They ain't worth $100, guys. Not when you can get this for $20. Look at the range of articulation on this guy, and the way that they've engineered these joints, you know. Now moving them around can be like, it's like trying to crack into a lobster, but you know, these knees with that and that. Are you kidding me? Same with the ankles. Look at that. You know, he's got soft material on the for his shorts, so he's just got a huge range of motion. Clearly not a statue. So if you got anybody trying to tell you that like McFarlane just makes statues, you show them this video, or you send it, you know, send them to talk to me. I'll get them straight. And if you're like on the fence in this line, you should try them out, because in hand they feel like $1 million. They're definitely the best thing you can get at this price point right now. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next time. Bye.